Hello, I'm Jackie Lucky, your financial planning maestro. This series of podcasts is aimed at financial planning professionals and also those who are looking to enter the financial planning profession. We will be talking during the podcast about all things Certified Financial Planner certification related, talking to other CFPs around the world, and also we will be dropping in on some new entrants who've just entered the financial planning profession, and we'll be checking up along the way on a regular basis with them to see how they're getting on. I hope you enjoy today's podcast. Hello and welcome. I'm Jackie Lucky, your financial planning maestro. And today I'm joined by Carmen Bacaoanu from Wealth Matters, who is a very special lady, and she's going to share her journey to CFP certification with us, all the ups and downs, as many of you I know will have along the way. And she's going to share some special tips and share some of her experiences. So a very warm welcome, Carmen. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, Jackie. It's really lovely to speak to you again.
And we have lots of things to chat about today. I've got a list as long as your arm, and I'm going to start at the very beginning and ask you all about how you came across the profession of financial planning and how you've got to where you are today.
Right, yes. So 4 years ago, I joined Wealth Matters as a trainee paraplanner. Prior to that, I worked at HSBC in a customer service role. During my time at HSBC, I became very interested in becoming a mortgage advisor. So I took the relevant exams, which were R01, R05, and CF6. And after I received my mortgage advice certificate, I tried to find a position at HSBC. I tried for about 18 months, at which point I realized that maybe HSBC wasn't the right place for me. So I uploaded my CV online. And not long after, one recruitment agency contacted me about this vacancy at Wealth Matters as a trainee paraplanner. And I just took it. Back then, I didn't know anything about the paraplanning role, but it sounded very appealing. And that's how I entered financial planning.
And what was it? Were there particular aspects that interested you in the role that you saw in that advert?
It sounded very appealing because I already had the two exams, R01 and R05. I only needed 4 more exams to qualify for the diploma in financial planning. Wealth Matters were looking for someone who had already started taking exams or is looking to, take the exams to become diploma qualified. It was a very, very straightforward process. I'm really happy I followed the recruitment agency's advice, and
Yeah, absolutely. And so that was really, I guess, when you started at Wealth Matters, did you notice that there was a difference in approach to the service that they offered to their clients to the way that you were doing it at HSBC?
Oh, absolutely. I worked for almost 4 years at HSBC, and it was very sales driven. It's a very focused on sales targets. I worked as a customer service officer, so I was dealing with clients on a daily basis, opening current accounts, credit cards, savings accounts, loans, you name it. We had a target. Sometimes it was very hard to present this, offers to our clients because some of them just didn't need another credit card.
Yeah.
They didn't need another savings account and so on. So it was very different when I joined Wealth Matters. It was quite refreshing because I didn't have to think about, first of all, I started studying for my exams and working on client reports and so on. So I didn't have much face-to-face contact with our clients. But later on, I started being more involved in meetings and presenting certain things from a client meeting agenda. And I became quite confident in that. But no, prior to that, I was just looking for a back office role. Because while working at HSBC, I became quite anxious about all of this target thing and selling, not thinking about anything else. Yeah, it was hard.
And I think that's quite common why, as we will get on to a little bit later, why so many women don't stay in the financial advice profession when there is, certainly in my day when I started, back in a very long time ago, Carmen, we had targets and you had to be quite a hunter, and go out and, hunt down your clients and sell them particular products. In the days of commission pre-RDR as well, you had to earn a certain amount of commission. And it felt very cutthroat. And like you say, uncomfortable if or you think that, there's a potential that the client doesn't need another credit card, doesn't need another investment bond or whatever it might be. So I think there is a natural conflict in the kind of product selling side of the advice world. And I think not just women, although I think it is, quite a lot of women tell me that they feel that way. So you're certainly not alone in those feelings that you had. But I'm glad that you found a home actually at Wealth Matters. So tell me a bit more about how you found out about the CFP and why you decided to undertake the certification assessment.
Yes, so I'm very proud to work at a CISI chartered firm. And I learned all about CFP from our two directors, Julian and Bruce, because they're both CFP qualified. They have their certificates. And they always encouraged all of us at the firm to undertake certification. And earlier this year, two of us received the most amazing news of passing the case study assessment. That was a big, massive celebration at Wealth Matters. We had champagne, cake. Julian was all over the moon, like was expected, but it was wonderful.
Yeah. But prior to all of that, with everybody's journey through the level 7 assessment, did you sat the level 6 exam first and then went on to the level 7 case study financial plan assessment, did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I took the level 6 exam in March 2021. I had a marginal fail. I was quite gutted.
Yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I took it again in September. I found it was a totally different experience. And yes, I passed in November. I found out that I passed and immediately signed up for the CFP case study assessment. And I think I didn't do anything for about 2 weeks. I just couldn't get my mind into it. I did. I enrolled into a course with the Financial Planning Academy, Training Academy.
Yes.
It's a 3-day fast track course. So I did that. I worked on my case study a little bit. And I think I just took 2 weeks off after that. And I contacted you just between Christmas and New Year's, if you remember.
Yes, I remember.
We talked about my case study. And that's when I realized I am so far from being where I wanted to be. That's when my challenging journey started.
Yes.
8 weeks of hell.
Yes, I wasn't quite going to say that word, but yes, I'm sure it did feel very tough for you at the time. And I can remember very clearly when we were talking about how many spreadsheets should you have, and you said to me, Jackie, I think I've got 40 spreadsheets. And I said, we can't get 40 spreadsheets into your plan because you've only got 60 pages and that doesn't leave you enough room to write anything.
Yes, we have a problem here. Yeah,
we have a problem. Yeah. But, we talk through, which bits to use and which bits not to use and things like that. And then, you were able, hopefully then, you were able, because you did pass, able to see the wood for the trees. Because I think when you get into the thick of the assessment, you can't see anything around you. It's so all consuming, isn't it?
Yes, Jackie, but let's remember that when I first met you in December 2021, I only had 6 spreadsheets.
Yes.
6 spreadsheets. And I was expecting to pass with those spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and then you found out that I didn't
yeah.
think you would.
No, yeah, but team, but many of my other, like, I think we were, I can't remember exactly, but maybe 10 of us attended this course, fast track course, and most of them did what I had done, the 6 spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And I think that's just it's not going to cut it.
No.
It's just not going to cut it. And I would seriously encourage anyone who wants to undertake this journey to speak to you, and because they have so much to learn. And yeah, I know you offer quite a few options,
yes.
but no, I think that I wouldn't have passed, not even a marginal fail, if I hadn't met you and to talk about my case study.
It's a pleasure to help you along the way. And just for the benefit of everyone, we weren't in complete agony the entire time. We did have a few giggles along the way as well, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, it wasn't all hell. It can be quite rewarding. It's a very rewarding experience as well, because as you come up, like you working through your case study, there's so many things you could do in this case study, but you only have to do one. You only have to follow one path, because you could reach the same result by doing 5 or 6 paths. It's only one that you have to follow, and it's quite rewarding when you get to the final stage and you can see that yes, these clients can achieve all their goals. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I guess it's a bit like going through a maze with different exits, isn't it? You can take different paths and you still get to the same place, but you don't have to take all the paths at the same time. And I think that's what puts people in a bit of a tailspin.
Yes. Once I realized what I had to do, where I have to work on, it was very straightforward. It was just a question of time. Like I just had to put so many hours into it. It's not a quick thing to work on.
I say to quite a lot of people that they should earmark at least 60 hours and maybe up to 100 hours to do themselves justice. Would you say that's a fair assessment? How many? Do you have a rough idea of how long it took you?
Let me think. So for about 8 weeks, I've put in at least 3 to 4 hours a day. Let's say 3 hours a day. So 160 hours, I would say.
Wow. That's a bit of a beast that you created there, Carmen.
Yes, but I think I took the hard. The way I worked my Excel spreadsheets, I think that was the most difficult way you could ever attempt to do it. I think you have a much more simplified way of reaching the same result. I had to build my own cash flow modeling, so it's not just about showing the shortfall.
Yes.
At retirement, it's to show how how the clients can achieve. You need to show how, from all of these pots you have, pension, ISAs, GIAs, you have to show how they can reach their goals by, taking income out at the right retirement age and including other benefits like state pension and, if necessary, state benefits. But that's how I reached to my 40 pages appendix.
And so after all of that, it must have been a huge relief. No wonder you had lots of celebrations. I saw it with lots of photographs over LinkedIn of both you and Catherine celebrating passing your Certified Financial Planner certification. And so looking back now, that was a few months ago now. Now you've had a chance to digest the journey. Tell us a little bit about how has it challenged the way that you work in your business now? Has it changed the way that you look at client information when you're doing paraplanning? Because you're managing a team as well now, aren't you?
Yes. I run a team of 4 power planners at Wealth Matters. It did challenge my thought process to some extent, but I would have to say that as a chartered firm, we already share the CISI and CFP approach when giving financial advice. Of course, I had a few gaps, such as state benefits, as everyone, I think,
Yes.
and others. I think I became quite aware of my own financial planning. I have to say, while I was studying for the level 6 exam and I was reading the book, I became like I'm a big spender. I like to reward myself all the time. I have to say. But by reading this book, I realized that, well, I kind of have to start saving now because I'm also a mom. I have 2 pets. I'm a single mom, by the way, so I have to take care of everything by myself with no other support. So it did trigger some I don't know, thoughts about, what my retirement is going to look like if I keep spending like this. And I only think about, gratification at present without, thinking about what's going to happen in 20, 30 years time.
Yeah. And it's a useful process to at least you had that chance, that kind of check, didn't you? Check in with yourself to say, oh, hang on a minute. I have the opportunity now to make my future and my retirement look different.
Yes. I'm still working on it, by the way.
Yeah. But at least you're not blindly rolling towards retirement and then think, hey ho, whatever happens, happens.
No, we have to realize that. Well, I don't know how much longer can we rely on state pension? Like, we don't know what's going to happen in a few years' time. Is the triple R going to be still in place in 10, 20 years? Like, we don't know. We might end up with nothing.
Yes, with nothing.
We have to look after ourselves. And financial planning, this is the way to go.
Yeah. And for you personally, and obviously for your family as well, has it helped you educate, your family about their finances? Have you been able to have those kind of discussions about money with them at a younger age?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I speak about financial planning with everyone I know, even strangers I meet in the park when I'm walking my dog. We somehow end up talking about pensions and investments. I don't know how, but we end up there. And I tell them about pensions, the benefits of paying into a pension, the tax reliefs you get with these contributions, and how much is can help you build a retirement plan.
Yes.
How important this is. And we're lucky to still receive the tax relief from the government. So let's just enjoy that and take advantage of everything we get.
Absolutely. Yeah. Make the most of it while you can. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And as a woman in the financial planning profession, I've certainly seen changes in the number of women having more high-profile jobs, more female financial planners, in the last 2 decades that I've been kicking around in this profession. What's your experience been like about whether you've been included or excluded in, conferences and at different places of work?
I have to say, to this day, I still don't understand why there are so few women in financial planning. I haven't had any unpleasant experiences since I became a power planner, and I've been to many conferences with CISI, FUM, I think, no, HUM.
HUM, yeah.
There's quite a good balance between men and women in there. That's what I seem to find at every single conference that I go to. Yeah. So I don't understand this discrepancy. I don't want to negate it, but I just are there really so many, so few women in in financial planning? Because
There are, unfortunately. But I wonder whether some of it is a legacy problem for people, of my generation, if you like, my age, because certainly when I was a lot younger, I was discriminated against in various jobs that I held. And I was expected, to make the coffee rather than give advice to clients and things like that in different situations. Not all jobs, I have to say, and not all employers that I've worked for over the years. But certainly when I got my very first advice job, we went, some of my colleagues and I, all male, obviously, we went off to the first financial planning or financial advice conference, actually, as it was then. And we worked for a network. And when we went to the network meeting, I was the only female in a room of 200 men.
Oh, wow.
And two of them thought that I was the tea lady and asked me to get them coffee and tea.
No.
They were nearly wearing it, but for those people who know me, they're probably thinking, yeah, that's about right. But yes, that wasn't a particularly pleasant experience. But and I think the thing is that it's great that you haven't experienced anything, because that means that the financial planning and the financial advice world is changing, has changed for you not to experience those kind of things. And that's what we want. So for the people and the females and males who come along behind you, of the next generation of financial planners, we don't want anybody to experience any kind of prejudice, do we?
Yeah, maybe I'm just lucky to not encounter any kind of unpleasant experiences while working in financial planning. At our firm, we have 2 females and 2 male advisors, so it's a good balance. Graduates, we took 3 graduates. I would say that out of 14 team members, 4 people are men. That's it. The rest of them are women. So we kind of we're always overpowering them in meetings, and you know how women are like we like a chat and everything. But no, it's a very pleasant. I don't know. It's always very pleasant to go in the office, and I've never felt uncomfortable in this profession. Maybe a little bit at HSBC, I don't know, but we're not talking about that. So
no, we're looking forward. And so what does the future hold for you as an individual and a paraplanner? Because, some people say to me, oh, well, if I am a paraplanner or paraplanning manager, maybe I don't need CFP, because you only need CFP if you're client facing. So what would you say to that?
Like you don't need CFP to offer financial planning advice. However, if you want to be the best of the best, that's what you want to get. Like you want to achieve this certification. Like I said, I run a team of paraplanners at Wealth Matters, and we I look after the graduates as well to some extent, and 4 of our team members are looking to undertake this journey in March 2023. That's when they enroll for the level 6 exam. So at this point, I just want to help my other colleagues to, achieve this certification, give them tips, encourage them, just, because you always have to, you need a lot of reassurance, don't you, when you study for level 6 and then do the case study. You need a lot of
encouragement.
Yes. And I just want to be there for them.
Yeah. And both you and Catherine are in a unique position to be able to support those people, because you've been through it so recently, and they can bounce ideas off you when they get that far with their case studies and with their exam, can't they?
Yes, exactly. And they always have you, of course.
I'll always be there hanging around, you know me. So we are nearly at the end of our time together, Carmen, but I just wanted to ask you one final question about the CFP. As we've talked about today, there are probably lots of people listening to this podcast who are thinking, maybe I should give this CFP malarkey a go. Do you have any tips for anybody who's perhaps sitting on the fence about how they could best prepare themselves for CFP certification?
I would have to say that, people who have undertaken this journey, they almost have very different experiences. Like you can't take two experiences, next to each other and think, yes, that I can appeal to that. Like they are all very different experiences. My most important tip would be to not listen to what everyone is saying. Just follow your gut, follow your instinct, and go with what you think is, relevant to you, to your case study, to the way you study, your studying approach, and everything. I've heard so many stories. One of my ex-colleagues from HSBC, she did that as well. She said she had to put her life away for 3 years, and it was just horrendous. She wouldn't do it again. It was just heartbreaking, and I just can't put myself in that situation. I can't imagine doing this for 3 years. It's just it's a crazy amount of time to put away to achieve certification. I would say do not put minimum effort into your case study. Don't think that I'm just going to work on it for, 20, 30 hours, submit it to CISI and wait for my feedback.
Yeah. Maximum effort and plan your time, isn't it? If you're going to spend 100 hours or like you, 160 hours on it, then, you need to make some proper time out in your diary. Maybe even talk to your employer if they don't give you any time off for studying.
Exactly. You need to ask for study time, for study leave for this.
Yeah.
We have a learning for life program at Wealth Matters, so we do have study leave, but I know that it's not a common practice in financial planning, and we should really look into it. But you need study support. You need Jackie Lockey, definitely. Like I would 100% recommend they book you either to do the fast track course or one-to-one sessions. It's all good, very good. I would definitely recommend that. And I would say to take the level 6 exam, you only need 3 or 4 months. That's it. I wouldn't try to, read that book over and over again and then maybe take the exam in 10 months' time. That's just not going to work. No. You only need to read that book maybe once or twice. Study for three months maybe, and then take the exam. That's it. I would say for the level 6 exam, just put time away for your calculations, because this is how I missed my first exam. This is how I failed it. Just try to attempt working on your calculations first, and then all the other bits in the exam. Yeah. That's it, I guess.
That's lots of advice. That's lots of tips. Thank you very much. That's very kind, and very kind words about my courses and me. That's £10 I owe you. Thank you. Carmen, we have come to the end of our chat today. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for sharing your journey. I know has not always been a positive experience, but you got there in the end. And like you said, everybody has a different journey. And hopefully by listening to our little chat today, that other people will be inspired by you, because you're a very inspirational and lovely woman. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. So thanks for joining me today, Carmen.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you again for offering me the opportunity to share my experience. It was very rewarding, lovely to hear the great news, and I'm so happy that you helped me through my journey. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. It's really interesting, isn't it, to listen to other people's points of view about different things, all relating to our wonderful financial planning profession. If you know anyone who might be interested in listening to any of these podcasts, please pass on our details to them. So that's it from me. Join me again next time when we'll be talking all things certified financial planner related, and also dropping in on our new entrants to the financial planning profession. Bye for now.